What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are back with the top 16 playoff from the Italian Vault Tour in Bologna, Italy. Now, when I say top 16 playoff, all the X1s, that is one loss or fewer players, they go into day 2. But there's between 16 and 32, so we can't have a full top 32, but we can't just go to top 16. So we make it so that there are a bunch of playoffs, so some players with a better resistance, i.e. they had the harder rounds, they end up straight into top 16. The other players have to earn their place in, and we've got Burrow and Fredfile here who are going to have to do exactly that. Burrow on the left is playing a Logos Mars Shadows deck. It does have library access, double Wild Wormhole, double Mother. He's also got 2 soft landing in his Mars, which is pretty good. And bait and switch, though, do remember the errata in Shadows. Going on to the right with Fredfile, he's got Sanctum Shadows Untamed, free Blinding Light, free Niflate to Dust Pixie. Good stuff in both decks. We're into day 2. We're expecting pretty good decks at this stage. So, we've got 35 minutes, though we rarely need all of that in Keyforge. It's not very often that we see decks going all the way to time. And straight away, on turn 1, we're seeing Mars come down. Oh, with a battle fleet. Reveal any number of Mars cards from your hand. For each card revealed in this way, draw 1 card. So he's actually played battle fleet, revealed 4 cards, and then gone, right, I get to draw 4 cards. So he grabs himself an amber bonus for playing it, but that is going to set him up for a really, really nice turn 2. Oh, so straight away then, we got the creatures for Fredfile. No full moon, unfortunately, in his deck. But he does get himself down a Niflate, a Dust Pixie to get himself down a couple of Amber, and a Niffle Queen. Each friendly beast creature gains +1 power. Each friendly Niffle creature gets +1 power. So those Niflates are actually sitting there at 5 power. The Dust Pixie, unfortunately, is a fairy, so it does not get the boost. So Burrow's got a handful of cards, and Fredfile, he's got a bit of a battle line going on. And we do see this with Untamed. They tend to Amber Rush. But Full Moon and Hunting Witch get you an Amber when you play a creature. That often helps a little bit more. Alright, so we are off again now. Burrow's onto his second turn here. He has gone for Shadows. He gets himself an Urchin down to steal an Amber. Oh, and then plays a Ghostly Hand, which gains you 2 but steals 1 if your opponent has exactly 1. Which he does. So playing the Urchin and then the Ghostly Hand allowed Burrow to actually steal both of the Amber from Fredfile there. That was a lovely, lovely play. That worked out beautifully. So that's a good start. But again, we're seeing one of these games. Burrow's got the Amber, and I want to say 6 Amber there. There is a little bit of glare, but Fredfile does have the board at the moment. So down comes his first Blinding Light to stun the Urchin. And he's also got a Take Hostages for the remainder of the turn. Each time a friendly creature fights, it captures an Amber. Oh, well, that's it. Just got the Amber bonus. That was it. That was the turn. So Burrow's gone and actually forced his first key. And he's able to play a soft landing. So he plays a creature there, a White Auxiliary Marauder, which actually comes into play ready. Oh, and he's played his second soft landing there, I believe. Yes. So he's actually able to play is that a Feeding Pit? Discard a creature from your hand. If you do, gain an Amber as an action. We do not see Feeding Pit on stream very often. So that's a nice turn from Burrow there. He's got himself a couple of artifacts down, including a Combat Pheromones. Basically, at any point you can use 2 Mars cards. It's an Omni ability. You can use it on your opponent's turn. He's forged a key and got himself a couple of Amber as well. So he does get himself down a Ritual of Balance. He gets himself down a Niffle Ape. And it looks like just a good old-fashioned treble reaping with the Niffle Queen, the Dust Pixie, and the Niffle Ape, just to get himself a bunch of Amber. But he's a key down, and he's not put himself on check here. Fred, he is behind in this game. He's got a better battle line, but his opponent's got some really nice artifacts. I mean, that feeding pit, it's not one I think I've ever commentated about on a stream before, but you discard a creature from your hand and then gain an amber every time you have a Mars turn. That's going to gain you a lot of amber. So he gets a special delivery down. And this is Burrow back again. And he gets himself a Fagin down. That's going to be good with his Urchin. And it looks like that is the end of his turn. It looks like he's like, you know what? I've got enough there. So Fred... Oh, okay. So it looks like he's just using the Niffle Ape to get rid of Fagin. Fagin just lets you reuse Urchin turn after turn. It's kind of annoying. Oh, here we go. And then he actually reaps with his other 3 untamed creatures and then drops a Chota Hazri, loses an amber, and then forges a key at current cost. He had exactly 7 amber, so rather than running the risk of Burrow being able to steal some amber next turn and taking him off of check, Fred just drops a Chota Hazri and immediately forges. Burrow's going to have to do something about this battle line here. Oh, speaking of which, he straight away uses special delivery to purge that Chota Hazri, and purging it's huge because it means it ain't coming back, ladies and gentlemen. It is gone for the game here. And he's actually got a pretty impressive battle line of his own, including a Grabber Jammer, which will increase the cost of keys by 1. So Fred here, he's gone Shadows. He's got himself is that a Carlo Phantom he's just dropped? Yes, it is indeed. Elusive Skirmish, when you play an artifact, steal an amber. And he's dropped himself an Urchin, and he's able to get rid of a couple of these creatures now. He also gets himself down an Umbra, which is going to help him out greatly. Oh, and he gets a Silent Dagger down onto the Urchin, gives you an amber bonus, but obviously yeah, and when you reap, you deal 4 damage to a flank creature. That's nice. That's cool. So, now Burrow's got a library access turn coming here. So every time, though it does get purged, do remember the errata to that card. But every time he plays a card, he draws a card. So he drops down his Positron Bolt and does a bunch of damage, gets rid of the Carlo Phantom, draws a card. Plays down a Quixo the Adventurer, draws a card. Plays down a Mother, draws a card. Plays down a second Mother, draws a card. Remember, each Mother lets him draw an extra card at the end of his turn. That's 2 extra cards at the end of his turn. He's not refilling his hand to 6. He's refilling his hand to 8 at this stage. Oh, and he does have just a quick look at that Ritual of Balance, just making sure he knows exactly what it does. Oh, chooses to destroy combat pheromones here, or sacrifice it. So now he can actually use 2 of his Mars creatures this turn. Uses it to take out the Umbra, I believe that was, which is pretty nice. Now he's playing down a remote access to use Ritual of Balance to steal an amber. Oh, that's nice, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, every card he drops gets him an extra card from his deck. Titan Mechanic goes down on a flank, reducing the cost of forging by 1. I did not see, I'm afraid that was off the screen. I think it was another creature. Now he's able to reap with Grabber Jammer here. Or is that the action of Grabber Jammer? It is a reap, but you capture an amber while you do so, so that's pretty sweet. Okay, so now, do we have confirmation? Yes, we do. There is a Quixo the Adventurer on the end of the battle line next to that Titan Mechanic. So, keys cost 6 now. Oh, actually, no, 7, sorry, for Fred, because of that Grabber Jammer. And now, that was a phenomenal turn for Burrow here, and he's actually now got 5 Logos creatures. So now he's actually been able to turn it around for the longest time in this game. Well, the first kind of 10 minutes. He's had the Amber / key advantage while his opponent has been sitting there with a battle line advantage. But now Burrow's going, now I've got more amber than you and I've got the battle line. I mean, there's nothing to stop him here just reaping 5 times with Sanctum next turn. Now we do see a Bulwark coming down from Fred here, getting a bit of armor down, and there's a little bit of capturing going on here as well. Is that a Raiding Knight that's just come down? No. No, that is a Lady Maxina. When you play it, you stun a creature. I believe that's Lady Maxina. Looks like Quixer the Adventurers end up stunned. The stun counters they're using, I believe, are quite similar to the Amber. Do me a favour, right? If you are streaming, use, like, to really clear Amber tokens, like the ones you get from the starter deck, or the acrylic ones you can pick up at a vault tour. Be nice to Wossy, yeah? Be nice. You know the rule. Go nuts. Be nice. Because otherwise it just gets really awkward. I can't always see what's going on. I'm doing my best. So, we do see another Mars turn coming down here. And I believe there was a total recall. For each friendly ready creature, gain an Amber. Return each friendly creature to your hand. No, was that a total... That is a total recall. Did he discard it rather than play it? Because if he played it at this point, that would get him a ridiculous amount of Amber. But you do return each friendly creature to your hand, so it looks like he chose to discard it rather than play it. That would have got him a ridiculous amount of Amber there. Because he had like 8 friendly ready creatures. But going for a little bit of a longer game Burrow here, that is definitely total recall. For each friendly ready creature, gain an Amber. Return each friendly creature to your hand. But it is a double-edged sword because, like I said, he's now got... You know, he can reap 5 times with logos next turn. Or he can reap... Grabber Jammer goes down. Boo! Grabber Jammer's gone. It's not terribly surprising. Niffle Queen takes down Grabber Jammer. It captured an Amber, so by taking it away, Fred got his Amber back and got rid of the thing that was meaning he had to... pay 1 extra to forge key. It's not terribly surprising he targeted it down. So we haven't had a Keyforge for a little while here. Fred is certainly putting himself onto check now. Oh, and he does actually drop down a Nature's Call. Return up to 3 creatures to their owner's hands. Oh, this is so sad. Burrow had such a good battle line going on. I mean, honestly, I get rid of the 2 Mother here. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, Dust Pixie goes down. Now, there was the option here to play the Dust Pixie and then pick it back up again with Nature's Call and then just play it back down again to get another 2 Amber. That is another thing. I mean, that's one thing we see players do a lot with Nature's Call. It's basically a 5 Amber turn. So Urchin comes down and steals an Amber for Burrow, but it looks like, I want to say there's 9 or 10 Amber on Fred's Archon card there. It's going to take a little more to get him off of forging. He's not there yet, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, so we see a Nerve Blast coming down here. Steal an Amber, deal 2 damage to a creature. And we've got a... Oh, I'm drawing a blank. That's a Pawn Sacrifice. Sacrifice friendly creature, deal 3 damage each to 2 creatures. It looks like he's working to get that Niffle Queen off of the board. I mean, it's captured a couple of Amber, so that's not terribly surprising that he would want rid of it. Although, honestly, it's been several turns now that Burrow's had those 2 Mother down. And it just means he's drawing till 8 at the end of his turn rather than 6. I mean, we saw the ridiculous play he did right at the beginning of the game, like the very first thing he did with Battlefleet. And we've seen him have the great library access turn. With the 2 Mother, Burrow's been at a significant, there we go, card advantage for the entire game at this stage. He's just had more cards than his opponent. And when you've just got more cards than your opponent, that really does give you an awful lot of options your opponent doesn't have. We've seen him have more answers, a better battle line, more Amber for most of the game. And the reason is he's just had a ridiculous card advantage. Now, having said that, it does still look like Fred's forging next turn. Oh, no. Oh, we've got a bunch of capturing going on here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and his discard pile's just off. Is that a miasma? No. Looks like that's a miasma that's just come down. Oh, that's not ideal. So he must have, I thought he was on a logos turn. I can't quite see what's at the end of his battle line. Either way, He's got the miasma down, so he has successfully stopped Fred forging next turn, while getting a huge amount of amber himself. So he's onto a little bit of a winner here, ladies and gentlemen. Fred's not going to be forging. Burrow's very much going to be forging next turn. He's got a frankly ridiculous battle line, and he is really looking to do some good stuff next turn. He has put himself in a phenomenal advantage here. He's put himself in a place where it looks like it's going to be very difficult for Fred to come back. Now, that's not to say that there's nothing Fred can do here. You know, we are far away from the end of the game. But the fact of the matter is, Burrow has put himself in a very commanding position. Lots of amber, played a miasma, great battle line. I mean, there's a lot going on Burrow's side of the board. And again, it's because of the card advantage. That really is the story of this game. From the very first turn, where Burrow went first and he could only play one card, and he chose Battle Fleet, which drew him 4 cards, he's just had the game. He then had that ridiculous turn with Library Access, which I believe was a turn that both the mothers came down. And then since then, he's had both the mothers down for the entire game. And that just means that he's always had more than his opponent. He's always had more cards and a greater advantage. It's very, very difficult, extremely difficult, to actually come across anything when your opponent's got this much of a card advantage over you. That's not to say the game's over. Like I've said, we've got plenty more game to go. But just please bear in mind that it is very difficult to beat someone who's just got this many more cards than you. This is why chains were invented. Chains were invented to punish you for having a good deck. All right, so we're back over to Fred here. He's not been able to forge his second key because of the miasma. He has, however, got a lot of amber on the board, but Burrow forges his second key now, and he's really jumping ahead. He's got at least 3 amber, if not 4, and honestly, he's got a bunch of logos cards in hand. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go logos here and just go reap, 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 reap. Oh, no. Oh, he has gone logos. Do remember, I believe that Quixo the Adventurer is stunned, so it would be 4 reaping. Oh, that's a bit sad. He plays Wild Wormhole for the amber. He actually draws a soft landing, so that... Oh, no! Soft landing says that each next creature you play comes into play ready. So he plays a Dexter to capture amber, but it's ready, so he can reap with it straight away. I keep thinking this next Mars creature was soft landing, but it's not. It's any creature. So he can now reap 5 times. And this is the advantage you've got. When you're ahead by a key, or more, you can sometimes just go reap, 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 reap. And here's the thing, right? Oh, actually, no. Fred doesn't play bait and switch. But remember, we've had the errata, so we can only get 2. So like I said, he's just literally reaping 5 times. Just 5 reaps. And that's what you can do when you're ahead by a key. That's the option you've got. Now, he then plays a phase shift, so he can play a card not of house logos. Oh, no. That's total recall. Now, to be fair, he's only getting 2 amber, because he's only got 2 friendly ready creatures. But even so, remember, even when you're stunned, you're still ready. There's ready and exhausted even when stunned. But he gets him another amber. Oh, and look, he's putting Titan Mechanic down back on the flank deliberately. He doesn't care if Fred's keys cost 1 less to forge. He's now forging for 5, and he's got 11 or 12 amber down. I think we might be witnessing the end of the game here. Now, Fred does get his second key, and that's lovely. But does he have anything to stop Burrow forging his 3rd key? Because that's what he needs to do here. So he's sitting there and he's piling up amber, but getting amber doesn't matter. He doesn't have miasma in his shadow suite. So he's got to get a bunch of amber. So he plays lights out and gets all of this amber, and nothing he's doing here is changing the end of this game. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Burrow forges his 3rd key, and he is our winner. Unfortunately, it's one of those things whereby you know, we tried, and Fred did everything he could, but Burrow had so much amber. That miasma was absolutely huge, but the story of that game, Burrow had more cards, like pretty much every turn. Shout out to the lovely ilVizzo for letting us use this footage and adding commentary. Cheers to both the players for being on stream. Congratulations to Burrow. Commiserations to Fred. A very enjoyable game indeed. So at this stage, I'd like to know what you think about this game, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.